Hello, and welcome to the Saving Progress Community Podcast. However many podcasts we've had, plus one edition. I don't really remember. Today on the podcast we have Triggs, and Triggs. I think Triggs might be joining us later, and I think we also have Triggs. So say hello, everybody. Thank you. And today on the agenda, since we have such a interesting cast, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be listing everybody in the group, the Saving Progress community group, and listing what they've done to disappoint us. So let's get started with the current people in the chat room. First up we have Ultimaeus. Ultimaeus? No, wait, I just said that the same way twice. Ultimus. No, that sounds worse. Now, you see, Ultimaeus, who I just call Alt because fuck pronouncing that, his name is based off the magic spell thing from several Final Fantasies Ultima, which, as I'm sure you can guess, was a very powerful bit of magic. Though to be honest, to me it looks a bit more like Ultimecia, which was the main antagonist of Final Fantasy VIII. Now, what has Ult done to disappoint me? Well, he's a very big Sonic fan, and that makes him a furry, and that's really disappointing. Next up, we have... Actually, hang on. I'd just like to point out right now that Ult's screen name is Furry Tard, so I think that speaks volumes. Also, he's ginger, so fuck him. Excuse me for a second. Yes, now, where was I? Right. Next up, Nikephoros Barris, also known as Brownie, the Big Brown Bear, or better known as No You. Now, what has he done to disappoint me? Well, he's kind of bad at killing floor. Also, his nickname is Bronwy. Also, I don't really like his Minecraft nickname. And sometimes I completely miss out on his sarcasm, it just sounds like he's being a total cunt. Next up, we have Shy Guy, also known as Shy Guy Plays. I can't think of any other names for him. And what has he done to disappoint me? Well, sometimes I think he's kind of a cunt. Although I think that could be said for pretty much anybody. But I don't know, I just don't like the way he acts around people who clearly have problems. Also, his videos suck. Up next we have Madbird, whose nickname on Steam is Space Hitler Madbird, so that's one thing, likening yourself to Hitler, because nobody is as good as the Great Dictator. Don't even pretend that you are Madbird. Don't. What has he done to disappoint me? Moving on, Halwood, also known as Space Stalin Halwood, and I'd just like to say, Halwood, no matter how hard you try, you will never be as sexy as young Stalin. As an aside though, what has Halwood done to disappoint me? Well, he's a jobless fuck. Who's leeching off the Australian, dole system, because apparently jobs don't agree with him. Get a job, you hippie. And next up on the list, Triggs, which, well, I might actually hold Triggs in quite high esteem. He's done a fair bit to disappoint me. And on the whole, the way he's disappointed me is by being a bit shit. Which is pretty disappointing, as I'm sure you can imagine. Next up, Wadsy. Charlie Wadsworth. Wads. He, also known as Cheesy Pete, which is the dumbest name of all time, The way he's disappointed me is by being a bit shit and also having fag lips. It's true. He's got some DSL. Anyway, next on the list we have Winter, who is also known as Rory. Now, I do have a little bit of a soft spot for Winter because he is a fellow countryman of New Zealand, which, you know, it at least raises him above, like, Joe levels, which is another story entirely. But I say Winter's pretty disappointing. He's disappointed me in several ways. He's been a bit of a puss. That's it. Also, he hasn't fucking contacted me about fixing his TV. I could go on and stuff, but I can't be fucked. No, wait, one more. Joe, also known as Average Guy 96, he's disappointed me by being decidedly average, as his name suggests. Like Joe Scheuer. We didn't think that was his real name, and he's all, "What do you mean you didn't think it was my real name? What, are you fucking dumb?" And then Luna's all, "Yeah, guys, why did you think it wasn't his real name? It was obviously his real name." And we're all, "No, it fucking wasn't. Joe is such a boring name that there's no way in hell that anybody anywhere is called Joe. And if you think you're called Joe, you're lying and full of shit." But then it turned out he actually was called Joe. So there's that. But that does also make him, like, the worst scum imaginable. Anyway, that's been the... what day is it? May 6th edition of the Saving Progress Community Podcast. I have been your host, Triggs. With me today has also been Triggs, etc., etc. I'm not going to do that whole thing again. Goodbye.